Hi, Phil Whitehead here, and this is the last video, number 7 in our series that we have planned. But please keep your feedback coming on your comments, because that helps us guide us into more detail or more subject matter that you might want to learn about. So in this video, we're going to talk about really one of my favorite subjects, and that's data collection. Oh my goodness, you say data collection? How can that be fun? Well, that's where you get to interact with the process experts, the people who actually do the job. And I think it's a fantastic experience personally. I enjoy that absolutely the best. It's building your current state process chart. It's validating that. It's understanding some human psychology that sometimes people don't always know the answer or care to share the right answer. And I'll try to give you some tips and techniques on how these can be mitigated in this. It's really a lot of fun. I'll go through the step by step and give you a couple sample forms, that kind of thing. But this will conclude our video series, so give us some love and give us some feedback, and we'll try to keep the series going. Thanks so much. Okay, let's jump in on the data collection process aspects of a change management program. In the beginning, we start with preparation. Preparation is really important, as you can imagine, else I wouldn't put it on this flow chart. But it's also an area where people really, quite frankly, mess up. And this is where you utilize your flowchart that you previously developed, and you identify the key stakeholders, and then within the stakeholder community you identify the subject matter experts that can help you with this process. And so it's extremely important that you pick the right people with the knowledge of the people who do know this. The other part of the preparation phase is collecting the demand data that you can use to start validating the reasonableness of the model as you build it. So, for example, if a business process that you're studying is generating 1,000 widgets a month, and you have 12 months worth of data, and that's the mean or the average of that, that's going to help later on in measuring the effectiveness of our model. So we'll come back to that in the next video. The other part is planning and scheduling. You're more than likely, we like to use cross-functional teams, so you're more than likely coordinating several people in this process. Usually they're very, very busy, and usually their managers really don't want to give them up. But this is where your negotiating skills, your project management skills come into play. You want to get these people scheduled, and if you're traveling in for the upcoming interview sessions, you want to make sure everybody's going to be in attendance. The next step after you've done the scheduling, there's usually a delay in there. We want to conduct the initial data collection meeting, and normally that meeting is conducted with a very brief 5-minute overview of what you're trying to accomplish, and the objectives and the process to be studied and why, so on and so forth, but briefly go through that. And then you start. And where do you start? You start in the beginning. In the beginning, there was a demand that triggers activity. And you want to walk that process as is all the way through. So this is the as is process. You're going to walk it all the way through. And right now you just want to aim at the business process, the resources, the number of resources, and time estimates. And let's talk about time estimates. Time estimates, if you ask somebody how long does it take you to enter a purchase order, they're going to look at you and they're going to say 9 times out of 10, well, it depends. So you want to anticipate that question, and let's rephrase the question a little bit and just ask it, what's the least amount of time that it would take you to accomplish this? Why would that occur? What's the most amount of time that you've seen this occur? And why did that happen? And then on average, what would you say the time would be? And what you just did is create a triangular distribution. So precision is not accurate. Matter of fact, it's not even desired because of all the strange things that can happen during the course of a day. Absenteeism, somebody's having a bad day, a mistake, blah, blah, 1,000 things come up. After we've collected the data from all the groups, we want to assemble this into an as-is flowchart, and we want to enter that data into the flowchart that we've collected, and that would be the process resources, the number of the resources, and the estimated times in there. Then we want to validate. We never, and this is from experience, never assume you got it all in the first meeting. It never happens. People forget. They will come back a day later and say, we were talking about this and such, but I forgot to mention this, this, and this. Well, let's give them a formal outlet, and let's conduct that validation meeting, which is a walkthrough of the data that you've collected thus far, and let's make those adjustments. And sometimes, folks, they can be quite significant. We'll, of course, then make the adjustments in the current state static model or flowchart model. We'll then conduct validation session 2 in the same manner. We'll make any adjustments necessary, and then we'll ask for the final review and approval. And once that's done, you're ready to start the model. By the way, be prepared, even when you're in the next phase, which is the methodology of building a model, you're very often going to have to come back to the data collection phase, as something inevitably will come up that needs to be addressed. So we'll see you in the last video, video 7. Thanks a lot. And oh, by the way, if you would, give us a like, show us some love, and give us your comments. We do appreciate those. We read them all. Thank you so much.